you know it is the basic tendency of us humans that we understand everything by comparing with something. Like if I'm saying that I have this bottle and this bottle is hot, so I am saying this bottle hot, so I have subconsciously in a mind that I think of one temperature which I think is normal. So with relative to that I am saying that this bottle is hot. Okay, similarly goes with everything. Like suppose we are going on a morning walk and a bike suddenly passes through us and it was moving too fast. Then we say that it was moving too fast. On what basis we are saying that it was moving too fast? Because in subconsciously in our head there is a speed which we assume and which we have fixed in our mind that speed is normal. So with relative to that speed we are saying that bike was fast. All these things which are not we are not doing consciously, everything is doing subconsciously, that we are saying. So we understand everything by that, by with this method, that we understand, we compare one thing with another and we understand the thing at our best. This is the basic tendency we normal humans have. So we understand why the earth is most unique, special and significant planet in the solar system. So how we will understand that? By understanding this solar system. So now I am going to just going to give a brief overview of solar system. So it is not just a the video that usually completely explain the solar system, because it is too wide and interesting topic. So I am going to create a series on solar system, which will be run in minimum at least 7 to 15 days, and I will go extremely deeper in it. On every planet I will tell how this magnetic field is that planet, how magnetic field on that planet, how strong are on that planet, how this temperature variation for that planet, how many hours it has, days or night. So I will explain everything in the series I am going to create after the series which is going to release on from starting from Feb 1, that is relativity and gravity. There will be two series which will run simultaneously. So after that series I will going to create a series on solar system, and I will create at least for 7 to 15 days that I will go extremely deeper in it, in sun, in moon, in all the moons in our solar system, asteroid, meteoroids, comets. But now we are going to take just a overview of that, of solar system. Okay, so we can have some idea that how these things start happening. Okay, initially, like our solar system has some mass, but initially it was too much massive, and it formed from 4.6 billion ago from a solar nebula. Our whole solar system formed from a solar nebula, because when the solar nebula start collapsing, and our solar system start beginning to happen. But we don't know, our scientists, that we don't know that what was the cause of that, why was that nebula was starting collapsing. Because everything is going in the nature, or everything we are doing. Suppose if I throw a stone, so what anyone can say that how does this stone come from a point B to point C? Because someone throw that, I throw that. So what is the cause? The cause is me. The cause is that someone throws, and that someone is me, and I'm special. So I am saying that like this, we know that is the cause of the stone going from a point A to point B. But in that case, in solar system, we don't know why the solar system start collapsing. Why we don't know, but somehow we scientists think that it is because of gravity. Because gravity start pulling everything towards its center. Otherwise, everything in the universe is expanding, so with gas cloud also could be spreading all the in the universe, but it wasn't. So we all scientists believe that was coming closer because of gravity. And from that solar nebula, our solar system start forming from 4.6 billion years ago. Probably we think that was almost the year. Okay, but that was not exactly the same as now. Initially our solar nebula was too cold, on -230 degrees centigrade. -230 degrees centigrade. So you can see how much cold it was. And when it start collapsing solar nebula, then it start becoming like a disk. Like you can understand that a pancake pizza, like a pizza, that how our solar system look like. And in the central part of the disk, the part was very hot and dense. So the dense part, the hot part, the hottest part of that disk, the hottest part of that pancake become the sun of the solar system. That's how our sun formed. And the planets, all the reason, all like this is a disk, and all the reason from outside is this started forming planets and many other specific objects and bodies which are in space in our solar system. So initially our solar system and our this was not spinning too fast, it was spinning slow. But how it start moving fast? Because we all know that, like you all know that the thing, you all know that the relation is equal to V is equal to R omega. You know the concept of that if V is related to R is equal to R omega. Okay, so that is V is velocity and R is radius and omega is angular velocity. Okay, and we all know that if V is constant, like if speed is constant, so what we get from that we get from here that R is inversely proportional to omega. Okay, so if someone like a skater is doing skating and he is he's spreading his arm in full length, but when he start contracting himself, what we can see that when it is revolve, when it start moving, or if some dancer is start contracting herself or himself, the rotation which she is moving start increasing. Its rotation and spinning start more and more faster. So we understand that by reducing the radius, its angular velocity increase. So that is the same case with our solar system. When it was in solar nebula, it was too huge and it too much messy. But when our solar system formed from that, so it start moving more spin than it was moving before. So that's how its rotation and spinning start continuously increasing. Now come on the fact that when our solar system came from the solar nebula, so it came by the collapsing the solar nebula. So when we get a perfect disk, we all know that, like I told before that a disk like a pancake pizza. So the central part of the disk was a hot, and around that all the planets which are formed from the central part of the disk, or also the planet which are only can exist, that material, metals and rock, only these types of the particles can only exist in that hot region. That doesn't mean that that only rock and metal were only existing on that particular area. No, there were countless particles that were existing at that hot region, but due to high temperature that all start becoming vaporized, and only what remain, only the metal and rock components, these particles. So what these particles start doing, coming together and they start forming planets, and that's how our beautiful and Earth start formed. So you are seeing that, and not just only Earth form, Mercury, Mars, Mercury is the other planet, Mars, Mercury, Venus and Earth. These four planets are these planets are in our inner region. So how these form? So you are understanding how Earth is formed. Earth is formed that first our solar system came from the solar nebula. When our solar system came, then then only sun came. Then there are many particles which are coming together in the near of the sun, in the closest of the sun, and all the other particles get vaporized. Then only metal and rock planet can exist. Then these planets, these small bodies, this planetesimal is called these small bodies which are moving in space, and they are huge in area, huge in diameter. Okay, so these are planetesimal. These planetesimals start making planets like Earth. So you are seeing how our Earth is made of. that with the small bodies of rocks, with small bodies of rock, then they start coming together, the small bodies of metal, when they start coming together, they started making planets. So that's how our planets formed. Like we are seeing the earth, that is not, this was from initially, our earth is start forming from the initial integration of the small component of the rock and metal components. That's how our earth start form. So see the significance of that, see the beauty of that, that there is a life on earth now, and we are that living life on that thing, and we are most conscious species on that planet. So just take some minutes and realize that we are so blessed by the universe, that how our earth is formed by the successive integration of the rocky and metal components, metal particles. Because the planetesimal, you all know that what is the meaning of planetesimal, because just I explained that before, but I am telling that again. The planetesimal are the small metal or rock component which are in huge in area, huge in diameter. Okay, so these are not only they making the planet which have life, they are making countless things. They were making comets, they were making asteroids, and they were making many moon-sized body. And you know, the body, moon-sized body, which they are continuously bearing the explosion, the collision from this space, they are continuously doing. So there are many crust, and there are many dots, there are many veins, and on the planets, on the dead bodies, our earth also have many cracks on them. So how they will, after some time, because of some geological reason, that our earth start, you know, just healing the crackers. So that's how there are many spots on moon. So because these type of the space projects, you know, bear many space collision. So see how our earth is formed, that it formed from the small successive integration of the planetesimal. Planetesimal are the components of rocky planets which are huge in diameter. That's how our earth start form. It not form in over the night. It start forming from the successive collision and integration of the components of metal and rocks. So that's how our earth start forming. All the other planets like Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Earth. Now these are the 4 planets which were in the inner region of the solar system. Now we are talking about the outer region of the disk, because the central part of the disk is hot. Now we are talking about the outer part of the disk which was cold. So there also exists a planetesimal hair also, but there are different kind of planetesimal hair. Like the planetesimal, there was the metal and rocks, but here is the ice, water, rock is also there, but methane and ammonia. So these types of planetesimal exist there. And what are the planets they are made of? They started making the planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. So these are the 4 planets made by the outer disk of solar system. So we have to understand. See, when we are understanding the fact that our earth is not formed overnight, we are seeing that it was forming with the successive component and integration of the rocky planets and metal planets. See how we are blessed by the universe, how our earth start forming, and in all the planets there is a life on earth. Not all the planets not the life. So when we are talking about the giant gases, like these are the planets which are beyond asteroid belts, like Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus. These are the planets. You know how the planets are. There is a strong magnetic field on all over the planet. You know, Jupiter have 20,000 strong magnetic field than Earth. 20,000 strong magnetic field than Earth, and they are containing hydrogen and helium. And Jupiter contain ammonia and methane on them. See how we are too blessed on Earth that we have such special atmosphere on Earth that life support that. So these are the reason, these are the facts. So that's how we understand the significance of something. Like when we start about Mercury, the closest planet to Sun, it is hardly have any atmosphere. we can say that it has no atmosphere. And you know, the day temperature of the Mercury is 430 degrees centigrade, and the night temperature of the Mercury is minus 180 degrees centigrade. So see, there are no any planet on the solar system which can vary the 5-day stretch of the temperature. Suppose if it was the temperature on Earth, how what was that? That in day it was 430 degrees centigrade and in night it was minus 180 degrees centigrade. So we are starting thing by that, and all the giant galaxies like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, they are continuously having stormy cloud on them, and they are made of, that methane and ammonia. So the rain was happening, there was a methane and ammonia, and you all know that how methane and ammonia are dangerous. You all know that. So these are the gases. These are the rays which are starting from, falling from the sky of the Jupiter and Saturn and all the giants gases. These are the, and now Mercury, after when we come the Venus. Venus is the Earth-like planet in the size and the shape, but it has no atmosphere at all. And when we study with the radar, we find that the surface of the Venus is full of volcanoes. So if you are complaining about there, so go somewhere sometime on Venus, because its surface is full of volcanoes, full of sun. But now we come to the Earth, the most special and unique planet in our solar system, that which have water on it, which have oxygen on it, which support life. So that is the most beautiful planet in the universe which support life. And there are many planets like Mars, which is called also red planet because of its color. We, with all scientific study, we feel that, and we think that there was a time when there was a water on the Mars. So it is also interesting planet, and we all are excited about the Mars. Like Elon Musk is also interested, and I am extremely interested. As much as I am interested in Earth, as much as I am interested in Mars. Both are equally important for me to explore. So these are the rocky planets, and we all know that how the giant gases are. The giant planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, that there are a completely magnetic field on them. They were completely stronger. There are gloomy day and night there. So the rocky planets are good. So that's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that by understanding the universe, we start understanding ourselves best. Because even we live on Earth, but how many times we start seeing something in the nature like that it has a connection with us, like when we are seeing a mango tree, point of view that is mango tree. This is not the right way to see. We have to see that we have some connection with the mango tree, and what is the connection. Then we start seeing that yes, I have geometry, my finger has geometry, my eye has geometry, my hair has geometry, and this flower has this fruit has geometry, the leaf of the tree has geometry. I will live some years, tree will live some years, then here it can vary some years, but we are connected by lifespan, we are connected by geometry. So when we start seeing things like that, when we start seeing birds like that they are also geometrical, they have some lifespan on them, and the more and more we study the universe, the more and more find we connection with universe. So we find that birds are connecting with us, trees are connected with us, animals are connected with us, species under the ocean are connected with us. So that's just the overview of solar system. This is just the overview, and I am going to explain a 7 to 15 days video on solar system, and it will be too deep. I will touch the inner core of the sun, how the inner core of the sun, how the inner core of the dead planet, how the weather is there, how the temperature is there. I will explain in completely depth, and then we see that a true curiosity start awakening in us. Then a true gratefulness for Earth is start awakening in us. Then our desire to explore the universe start awakening in us. The real meaning, the true meaning of being a scientist is that we are curious about everything in the universe and in Earth simultaneously. So as much as we are curious about Mars, as much as we should curious about Earth. That is the true meaning of being a true scientist, that we should all finding a connection between the lives in the earth. We start finding the people living in India, they have connection with the people who are in the US, London, in all over the world. The true meaning of that is that. The true meaning of being a true scientist is that when we walk the forest, we start seeing that there are flowers, sunflower, rose flower, and there are lily, and there are countless flowers. They have a connection with us. That is the true meaning of being a scientist. That is the true meaning of being a scientist. When we are seeing, when we start seeing that someone in the another country has some problems, whatever the person, boy, girl, kid, old, whatever, but we start finding that we have a connection with them, and we should help them. So that is the true meaning of science. That is the true meaning of being a true scientist. When we start seeing that, because scientists are the people which are the closest to the universe, which only allow the fact to enter themselves. So this is the simple fact we should see, that we all formed from the fundamental creation in the universe. After the Big Bang, there was creation was starting, and that was stars, galaxies, and our solar system start from there. So we start seeing that the true meaning of being scientist, we started finding that we all are connected. And the true meaning of being scientist is that we should spread as much as light, as much as hope, as much as we can express in the universe. The true meaning of being scientist is that we start seeing and understanding that we all are connected. The true meaning of being a scientist is that we start doing the projects which will help after 50 years, 100 years, 1000 years. The true meaning of being scientist that we guide the people which we don't know the sun. The true meaning of being scientist that we will bring hope, peace, happiness, light in the universe. The true meaning of being scientist is that we will make the world better than we found. That is the true meaning of being scientist. And artist also. That's same with everyone. Thank you so much, everyone.